Hi guys, welcome to another episode of my vlog. Coming to you from my new room, my new space. It's a much bigger room. You can't really tell the difference. It's just another white wall. But I've got a space downstairs that I'm gonna slowly convert into a studio once I bother to buy a nice camera and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I'm just gonna go over a few things that happened over the past week and a bit. WWE Battleground, UFC 214. Dragonball Super, and I just want to talk a little bit more of my love for Berserk. Oh, and also Game of Thrones. How can I forget? I haven't watched episode 3 yet of the new season, but I'm going to watch it after this, and then I'll do a review later. So anyway, let's get to it. So UFC 214 was a cracker of an event. All awesome outcomes. I mean, really what we thought. Feel bad for Tyron Woodley. No, I actually feel sorry for DC. Poor guy. I mean, to see someone who puts all this effort into trying to be the best and just to see them come short and get knocked out, I mean, he said himself it's not much of a rivalry if, he has a 1-1 fight. So I feel for him. I'm a fan of both fighters, but John is the greatest, and he showed it. He proves it every time when he does things like that, but we haven't seen John knock out a guy in a while, so this was an emphatic statement on his part. And he's back, and good on him. It's a comeback story for anyone who screwed up, like he said. So yeah, shout out. What am I doing shout outs for? He's not going to listen to anything. But yeah, props to John Jones. Well done, dude. Tyron Woodley, Damian Maia. It was a shit show of a fight. I mean, it was boring, but the thing is, I like Tyron Woodley. He's defended his title against real competition, man. And if people are really getting mad at him, why didn't they feel the same thing towards GSP? His fights weren't that exciting towards the end. I like, although GSP showed more skill, but it was all about wrestling and just holding guys down and then just occasionally showing off some of his striking. So, Tyron Woodley's doing what a champ should do. It's just, it would have been nice if he did more in the attack, in the exchange and striking wise. I mean, they got the record for least significant strikes in the fight. So, I mean, I don't know if it was a fight or title fight, but these sort of stats are more insulting. I was surprised Joe Rogan had the balls to say that. It's always just so weird, and Dana was just ripping into Tyron after the fight. So it's weird, but I'm glad he won. I like Damian Maia, but it's just not meant to be at this point. And apparently implications now will be that because of how bad the fight was, Tyron doesn't get to fight GSP, and GSP still gonna fight Bisping, and whoever wins that, Robert Whittaker fights. So it's all weird. I mean, where does that leave Tyron Woodley? Who's he gonna fight next? Well, welterweight. I don't even know anybody else in welterweight right now that's killing it. Unless Calvin can get back into it and maybe get a little streak going on, and then find himself in there. Or even, I don't think Nick's ever gonna fight at 175, and Nate's not a contender at welterweight. Maybe Conor finally will come in after the Floyd fight, but I think we all know that Conor should fight Nate and just retire. I mean, he doesn't have anything to prove, and it'll be an awesome legacy for Conor anyway. He doesn't have to keep fighting till he's 40 or anything like that. He's a young guy anyway. I saw the Cyborg fight. It was good. She was happy that she got to fight a few rounds into it. I saw the post conference with the girl she was fighting. I completely forgot her name anyway. I mean, it doesn't really matter. But she put on a pretty good performance. I mean, she held on, but Cyborg just was waiting to pull the trigger. She was just kind of wanting to show her skills off, and good on her. She's finally got the title, and hopefully Megan Anderson will get a shot at her, because I'm actually a fan of Megan Anderson. I watched some of her stuff online, and she's Australian, and she seems like she's gonna be something special if she can, especially if she can get through Cyborg. They need more stars in the women's divisions. So yeah, and I saw a little bit of the Cerrone Robbie Lawler. It was okay. I don't know. I think Robbie won it. Yeah, I watched it, but I wasn't paying enough attention, I guess was what I mean. And I saw Manuel got knocked out. That's crazy, man. That whatever his name is, Ostema or whatever. That guy's He's gonna be a champion any time now. I mean, the guy just keeps winning these fights, man. He's good. He's like a. He's creeping up there. Maybe he'll be like a Glover and might just get to John Jones, and then John will just fuck him up. You know, you never know. Sorry, language, but yeah, it's John Jones. And yeah, there were some other fights. I have to go and watch them because I actually want to see a lot of the undercard and the prelim stuff. Apparently, they were off the chain as well. And I want to see Ricardo Lamas knock out Jason Knight, which is wow. You know, Ricardo Lamas, there's all those kind of fighters, you know, like the Dennis Bermudez and all those kind of guys that they'll make it to a title fight or whatever, and then they'll just kind of stick around, and you know. So yeah, I'm keen to see that fight too. So yeah, UFC 214 was awesome. Good card. It's been a while since UFC's had a really decent card. I didn't even really watch the Weidman Calvin fight. I only disliked Weidman after the checking of the kick on Anderson, because I thought, this is MMA. It's not like you're some sort of. It just seemed like a. I don't know, tacky, just a very cowardice move to use. You could check a kick, but it was the destruction, as they call the technique. It's deliberate to try and break a leg, and you don't do that to a legend. So Weidman's always kind of got like more and more hate, and then when he won that fight, I was reading the comments. People hate his guts, like. I didn't like him at the beginning, but I actually feel some sympathy for the dude now. He's just trying to, do his job as a fighter and provide for his family. But yeah, no one wants a bar of it. Everyone thinks he's total horseshit. So yeah, I didn't watch that. So anyway, we're moving on. So WWE Battleground, SmackDown Live's Battleground. It was okay. The tag match was good. Usos and New Day put on a really awesome match. And yeah, New Day are the champs, so good on them. I'm not going in any order here, but Punjabi prison was just. I was behind Jinder, man. I'm a half Indian, I thought, it'd be cool, but it's kind of embarrassing. I mean, it was cool seeing Khali come out, but this is it's like Vince purposely wants SmackDown to get screwed or something. I don't know who's booking these things, but it's just SmackDown Live is at risk of really falling apart. Yeah, the SmackDown episode the week, a couple of days later was actually better than the pay-per-view. I feel like, AJ lost the title in a weird finish, but then he regained it back in the triple threat match. So, I was like, what was the whole point of that? And, I feel like Naomi needs to be able to defend her title more, but they had to do the number one contender. So Natalia's going to be the number one contender. Cool, whatever. I hope she doesn't win. I actually want to see Tamina finally win something in her freaking boring-ass career. I mean, look at her. She should be the champ, right? Or at least at some point fight for the title. It's like my girl Nia, man. She better be winning that title sometime soon, man. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, so it's it was an okay pay-per-view. It wasn't worth raving on about. I think Raw's just killing SmackDown right now. And, I mean, I just worry, man, like what they're doing with Shinsuke and all that. I mean, John Cena beat Rusev clean, and it's like, so I guess John Cena, and so, but this week's going to be very exciting because John Cena takes on Shinsuke Nakamura to determine who's going to fight Jinder at SummerSlam. Maybe they're going to do a swerve and Baron Corbin will come out and screw Shinsuke over, or maybe Shinsuke wins the match, beats Jinder for the title, and loses it the same night to Baron Corbin. Stranger things have happened, and with SmackDown's way of booking, this is all a high possibility. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, Raw's my show. SmackDown's usually my show, but Raw's been more interesting. I mean, they're teasing this whole thing with the Shield reunion or semi-Shield reunion between Dean and Seth. I really hope they win the tag titles against Shimaro. That'd be awesome. But yeah, apparently Triple H isn't happy because Dean hugged Seth or something. So, I mean, I saw it, but it was like a hesitant hug. I think it actually was good for the storyline, but he thinks it destroyed the storyline. It's like, look, it's the fist bump. We all want to see that more than anything. A hug is more just like spur of the moment, but the fist bump is a very thought of thing. That's the psychology I think Dino's trying to put through, and I think Triple H just sort of like, no, 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 the hug is more important. I'm like, this isn't the click, man. Calm down. But what's cool in Raw, I guess, is this whole fatal 4-way for the title. Yeah, because it's Brock, Roman, Braun, and Samoa Joe. So yeah, fatal 4-way for the Raw Universal title, which would be freaking sick. Yeah, so Raw's just smashing SmackDown right now. I'm quite disappointed, quite gutted actually, but you know, it's the way. This is all because of that stupid superstar shakeup bullshit. I mean, just do the draft, man. Do it the proper way. Like, I don't know. It's all wrestling anyway, so can't get too emotionally attached. But you know, we watch it to be entertained. So figure it out, man. SmackDown's a good show as well. You know, you can't just have one show. Anyway, I don't want to get upset about it. So yeah, Battleground was pretty crap. So with Game of Thrones, I saw episode 1 and 2 now. So episode 2 was good. It was building up. I mean, you know, with Greyjoy's uncle showing up and Greyjoy. Theon, sorry, because they were Greyjoys, but Theon showed his cowardice, his weakness is still there in him, and you know, when their uncle came and just carved everyone to pieces, especially the sand snakes, the infamous sand snakes, getting destroyed and massacred, and one of them was like hung off one of the ships. It was just so embarrassing, and that's the thing about Game of Thrones is that good guys, when they die the most humiliating ways possible. I mean, I think Ramsay, his death was it wasn't so much embarrassing, it was just more like, finally, you know, we just get to see this piece of shit die. But yeah, like, you know, there's a lot of revelations coming, you know, with Samuel, his research and helping out with Jorah, and you know, and it's amazing how that link, you know, because he was very close with Jorah's father, so it's only fitting he's the one that helps him with the grayscale and all that sort of thing. So hopefully he can cure him, man, because, I mean, it's disgusting to watch him peeling off all the skin. It's like, what, you're going to peel all of that off his flesh? It's disgusting. But, you know, I believe in Sam, and I really like his character. And, yeah, hopefully John I know he's going to meet Daenerys in this episode, but I don't know how much of a conversation they're gonna have, so I'll watch that very shortly. I would watch it before I do this, but it'll just take too long, and it will be quite late by the time I get to do this. So I'll add this to my review next week. Yeah, like Arya's on their way to Sansa, so I'm guessing everyone's gonna have a reunion where Brandon and Arya and Sansa are all gonna meet. Is it Brandon or Bran, whatever his name is. They're all going to meet up, and John's going to be gone, and, you know, who knows when John will be back, if he ever gets to come back. He better not frickin' die, you know. But I believe he's the chosen prince of this prophecy and all that sort of stuff. But whether they tell him or who's going to figure out that he's the son of, is it Rhaegar? Because Rhaegar is Daenerys' brother, right? I don't know. Someone correct me. But anyway, it's Daenerys' nephew. So Jon is related to Daenerys, and he's, he is a Targaryen, but he's also half Stark. So it's, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that meeting. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Game of Thrones is always an awesome show to watch. I gave up on Walking Dead. You know, I've never mentioned in my vlogs because I got so traumatized just after Glenn's death. I was like, fuck it, I'm not watching this shit show. I'm not watching it. It's just torture porn. It's just disgusting. Don't need to see that. Anyway, but what I've been really getting into is more Berserk. So, you know, everyone knows I'm a big anime fan, and I'm going to go into Dragonball Super shortly, but and Attack on Titan is one of my other most favorite animes. But Berserk, man, I had no idea the cultural or the pop culture influence of Berserk on other anime and video games. I mean, Cloud Strive's Buster Sword, his fighting style, not so much his character design, but there's a lot of things. I know Dark Souls, the video game, is also influenced heavily by Berserk, but man, the guy who makes the show, like, or the manga, he needs to keep going. I know he keeps going on hiatuses, but it's such an awesome story. You know, when you go to the golden age all the way through to now, where Guts is now using the berserk armor, it's just, this is awesome manga stuff, man. Awesome anime stuff. And yeah, I've caught up to everything now with the whole berserk storyline. You know, I watched compilations of mixes of the old 1997 anime and some of the later films that came out, and which only really covers all the way up until the eclipse and just after the eclipse when Guts becomes the Black Swordsman. So I watched all of that, finally caught up, and now I've been watching the 2016 and 17 animes. Animation isn't that great. They keep trying to chuck in CGI and stuff, but the storyline is good enough for me. And when it does show some of the violence, it's still good. I mean, Guts is the coolest. He's like the medieval Wolverine in a way. He reminds me of like a mixture of Wolverine, and like, well, I mean, the other people, they I just didn't realize this whole time. Like I remember seeing a clip back in the day of Berserk, but I didn't know anything about it. This was pre-YouTube days, you know, like I downloaded like one of those anime music videos and it was Ninja Scroll mixed with Berserk clips, and I was like, what the hell is this? This is medieval anime where everyone's getting chopped to pieces by a guy with a giant sword. Well, yeah, it's Berserk. So anyway, if you don't know anything about Berserk, go and watch. I mean, hit me up, man. I can give you links and clips and everything and send you stuff, but get into Berserk, man. It's so cool. So cool. But yeah, while we're in the anime thing, Dragonball Super. So awesome episode this past week, man. There was Kali and Caulifla showed off more of their amazing Super Saiyan skills that they just ass pulled, but not really. You know, they explained there's like their potential is different and they evolved in a different way. But yeah, Kali has mastered her Berserk form to be more of a regular Super Saiyan form, but yeah, she just refined it down. She's not as overly bulky, but yeah, she mastered it, and her and Kali took out a whole bunch of Pride Troopers who turned out to be just like the Ginyu Force, just a bunch of gimmicky weirdos. But we haven't seen Jiren have any action yet, other than when he tried to blast out Kali, which he didn't even do that. So I think this guy has just been hyped up a bit, to me, in my opinion. I'm probably wrong though. I mean, we've seen the intro, Goku and Jiren are going at it, but I just want to see this fight, man. You know, fucking make it happen. But I reckon we're halfway through the saga now, so we'll see very soon. But yeah, I like it. You know, everyone's getting their little strikes in. Master Roshi and Tien did some teaming up. The androids actually showing off a lot of skills, and just the interaction between Frieza and Vegeta and everyone's hilarious too. So it's pretty good. It's picking up, man. I said earlier in one of my other vlogs that, you know, it's been a bit on and off, this whole Tournament of Power thing, but I think it's picking up now, especially after the whole, you know, like they even reenacted the Cell Games Kamehameha scene with Kali and Caulifla doing that against the Pride Troopers, you know, because Caulifla had only one arm, so it's hilarious. And she was in Super Saiyan 2 form, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, just little homages to the original Dragon Ball Z series and Dragon Ball series. It's coming a lot in the Tournament of Power. So anyway, yeah, liking where everything's going. What have I been up to? I moved to my new place. I've been doing more production stuff for my EP. It's, you know, it's happening, and yeah, just keeping on. You know, I didn't really. I didn't talk about this in the last one because he hadn't passed away. But just a little bit of a shout out to Chester Bennington. I mean, that dude was my idol, man. Like, whole of high school, I used to want to be like him. I dressed up like him. I did my hair like him. You know, my voice is more suited to rock, and I could sing every Linkin Park song. I know most of the lyrics to the first 4 albums worth of their stuff. First three albums, yeah. And their latest album wasn't that bad, but, you know, he had inner demons. He always had them, you know. He'd been abused as a teenager, and he had like a heroin addiction when he was only 16. You know, he's just a lot of dark things going on in his mind, and, you know, people giving him hate, saying, "Oh, you know, like, how could you do that to your 6 kids?" And it's like, look, man, we can't understand what he went through, you know, all we can do is sympathize with his family and his bandmates and stuff, and just honor the memory of the guy. You know, he was an amazing, talented person, but he wasn't happy and was more beyond that. You know, it's beyond our comprehension, and we shouldn't judge people. And suicide is a sad thing. You know, if you know anybody that's going through stuff, just be there for them. I mean, if you know, depression and stuff, like, I don't have depression. You know, I get frustrated like everyone else, but I know people that do have it, and the biggest thing you can do is really just be available for them. You know, tell them that you're there to help, but don't push it too much, because you know it's something they're going. You can't really reason too much, or like reason, but it's not what you say. It's just more. You just gotta give that person space, and they'll come to you. You know, they'll let you know what's going on, but at the same time, just try to be there for people that you know need help. And yeah, and don't judge people, man. Like, you know, it's not worth it. And cyberbullying and all that shit, he was getting a lot of it lately, and people are even bullying him and throwing things at him in the crowd recently. It's like, what do you achieve by doing that? Do you think that money makes someone a stronger person? It doesn't, man. It just makes their life more convenient in certain areas, but it doesn't mean that they've dealt with their demons. You can't pay to get rid of those memories, you know? And yeah, I just find it appalling how people can say certain things these days, and it's getting worse, man. You know, like I'm not that kind of person. I don't. I like to read trolling on certain like things if it's just for comedy's sake. But when you start going into things like suicide and telling people, or judging people for their issues and stuff, it's like, who the hell are you to say that, man? And it's like, and you're probably not happy yourself, so you just think it's cool to just bully other people. Well, you know what? That just makes you look even more pathetic. So, you know, just, you know, if you guys know of any cyberbullying and that, you know, like, try and report it or do something or talk to that person, you know, if there's someone you're close to. But other than that, I really worry, man. You know, I want to have kids one day. I got nephews and nieces and stuff, and like, they're gonna grow up in a day much different to ours, man. Like, we've us generation Y, I don't know what I am, X, Y, or whatever, Y maybe, like, we got to see the shift of technology and social media, you know, become such a huge part of our lives. But it was more fun in the early days, you know, like MSN and all that kind of stuff, and then, you know, Bebo, and then MySpace, and then Facebook. But then once it reached this level where, you know, there's so much bullying and all this bullshit, it's like, it's so toxic, man. And, you know, they always say don't read the comments and stuff, but it's easy for us to say, you know. A lot of people put their 100% pride into what they do, and, you know, when people put them down for it or make them seem lesser, it really hurts them. So yeah, just be mindful, and, you know, be there for your friends and family, and, you know, be thankful for who you have in your life, and just spare a thought for those people that are going through stuff, man. It's a tough world out there as it is, you know, and we just gotta be mindful of that, and try and be nicer to each other, man. Like, quit being assholes and shit, you know. Like, I see it, man. I see on the train, you know, and there's people that are just trying to get on with their lives, and then you'll get some dickhead who's off his face or on meth or some fucked up shit like that, and they'll come in and try and scare people. I hate that kind of stuff, man. Like, I hate seeing bad things going on and people getting jumped or mugged, and, you know, these guys who claim to be Muslims and being terrorists. Like, there's so much chaos out there in the world, and it's in our backyards as well. So, like, we all got to be there for each other, man. Be strong and look after each other, you know. I mean, you don't have to listen to me, but at least think about it for your own sake and for your own family's sake, man. Like, it's not worth it. It's not worth living in such a bad, negative space, you know. Let's try and make things better. So, yeah, not to go so deep on you guys, but I just feel like it's just so much bad shit going on, man. And yeah, like, Chester's death just really triggered something in me, I guess, because I was such a big fan of him. And yeah, it's just to see, and all the signs were there, man. And none of us really saw it. it was right in our faces. You watch all of the interviews, and it's just things, you know, he was saying. I mean, you listen to the lyrics of the new album. It's like he was telling us he's ready to go. A lot of the songs. It's like, fuck. How did we not see this? I mean, it's not our fault. It's just interesting, man. It's just a really. It's just one of those crazy things. So, yeah, just thanks for watching, guys. Sorry to go deep on you, man. I just keep having these thoughts. And my missus says I'm a warrior, and like not a warrior as in like I worry too much, and I do, man. I worry about people I care about. You know, I worry about people I don't even know. Like, you know, I want peace. I want people to live in peace, man. You know, and it's just not happening these days. So, yeah, try and rise above it, guys, and be strong. Look after yourselves, look after your families and your friends and your loved ones, and just, yeah, let's all just try and be more positive, man. And, you know, fuck the haters. You know, if you got a problem with me, I'll fuck you up. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But, like, seriously, just be nice, man. You know, that's all I'm saying. So, yeah, appreciate your time, guys, and I'll have another vlog out next week. See ya.
I gotta know, so say something.